¿Cuántos hablan español? Okay. I'll try to do this bilingual. Bueno, yo nací en Michoacán, México. Vine a este país cuando era a teenager. I came here to the U.S. when I was a teenager. I was born in Mexico, Michoacán, Michigan. It means the same, Michoacán and Michigan. So when I came here, it was very hard for me to, first, I didn't know a word of English. No sabía nada de inglés. So it was very, very hard. And I got involved in working with the community, especially farm workers in Califa, California.
Permíteme un momentito. Si fueran tan amables de escuchar al joven, aquí vinimos a escuchar. Si quieren platicar, por favor, váyanse para afuera. Gracias.
So I think that I got very involved in the immigration issues because I saw people coming like me and having a hard time. So Pueblos Sin Fronteras, that's part of what we do. We try to reach out to the community that is first generation migrants to understand the situation, what's going on in the United States, and try to help them to integrate to the new society and to their new home. So in all these, my life, I've been really struggling with immigration. Is part of my life, immigration issues. Right now, the immigration reform, as it looks right now, it will benefit very few people, and not the 11, 12 million. And also, we see that the immigration reform, as it is right now, is focusing in enforcement of the law and sending back people to their countries, deportations, and that's something that we are very, very concerned because it's the separation of families. We have so many families now that separated. We have the mom here, or one of the parents deported, and we believe in family unity. And that's one of the values that I really appreciate from the United States, the family value. So that's one thing that we are fighting. The immigration reform, as it looks right now, is focusing more in enforcement of sending these deportations, and also the border the border now is the numbers. Look at the numbers. Is more safe than ever, but we still putting boots in our border. And I personally, I don't think that will stop immigration. I'm a missionary. I spent 7 years of my life in a missionary order called Scalabrinians. We work with migrants and refugees in 29, now 31 countries. And I have never seen in any other country that putting a wall that stops migration. What stops migration is opportunity in their own countries. And that is something that I believe that is the root of migration. People do not want to leave their home, their families. They don't want to be, leave their roots behind. So that's another thing that we try to do with Pueblos Sin Fronteras, is help the people that has been away from home to reconnect to the roots, to reconnect to their ancestors, to their abuelitos, to understand and listen to one another, to their stories, to bring some value to themselves. As many migrants, they do not believe in themselves. They believe that they are because they hear in the news, oh, illegal, you something doing that is not. So they put themselves down. They're hiding. They're trying to be invisible in this society. So muchos de los migrantes están tratando de ser invisibles en esta sociedad porque escuchan las noticias, eres un criminal, eres un ilegal. So ni siquiera sale. En las marchas vemos, si salieran todos, bueno, en la última que se hizo no cabríamos. So people is very scared. So that's part of what we do in Pueblo also. Try to bring that inner strength from each migrant. And everyone in this room, everyone is a migrant. Everybody. Unless you are a Native American, you're not a migrant. So it is very important, this issue, and I'd like to, in any field, in anything that you do, like to, and this is my not suggest I want you to do that, because I see the people suffering every day. We see the people. We also go to the corners with the day labor corners, and we listen to the stories. We bring some coffee, bread, we listen to the stories, we teach them their rights. One of our main things is human rights. I work in SMU and the Embry Human Rights Program. That's my passion. So I like everyone to know their rights. It is very important. And we teach them what to do in case they've been stopped by a police. I know we have good police officers here, but not everyone is good. There's some biased police officers. And I know that because I hear from the community. And we teach them what to do, how to deal with the police, and not to be scared, todo asustado. Sí, señor patroncito, que se quita el sombrero, no? So I think that's very, very important to empower this community, which is the force of our nation. We know that migrants have built this country. I just was with the ex-braceros yesterday and listened to the stories. My grandpa was a bracero. See, my wife, her grandpa also was a bracero. And I listened to the stories of how they were treated like animals. They were treated so bad. And we're doing the same thing with the new migrants. So I encourage you to whatever you do, anything, education, politics, whatever, like to look at this force that is actually thanks to them that we have this food in here. Many people is working on the fields and many of you maybe, perhaps you did that job and you see that it's not easy. So that's my challenge for you, to get involved and to also understand and to not be afraid. The name of our organization is Sin Fronteras, without borders. But we don't. It's not the border there in the south or the north. The north is very, why don't we put another one over there? We only focus in the south. What about the oceans? Well, borders or limits, without limits, is when we put a wall, we immediately say, I don't want to talk to you. You see? But we eliminate that wall that separates us, make us more human. When they make us more, if I just reach out to you and give you my hand, and my name is Roberto Corona, you're already breaking a wall. So the new migrants, a lot of people is afraid of them because they don't know them. You just don't know that there's people like you and me with dreams and tremendous values and a lot of ganas de trabajar. So not only trabajar, they dreaming. They are keeping the dreams alive. Many of us in our culture here, in the American culture, we stop dreaming. We just act and do things and do everything. And I see the migrants, actually they are the ones that give me all this strength and energy to keep living. I see my daughter growing up, and I see, wow, I would like to, those values that I learned from my papa, my mom, and my abuelitos, I would like my daughter to understand her own culture and history. I think that when we understand where we come from, then we'll know what we want and where do we want to go. And I really appreciate this young man here that is running. I'm not running for nothing. He's running, and everybody here that is working towards minorities, towards their own passions. So I just encourage you to continue doing it, to also pay attention to and listen to the migrant voices. I think we learn a lot by listening. If we listen to, if you're running for politics, whatever, listening is a key factor. If you just come and blah, 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 I think that, yes, it's important. But if you listen carefully to every need and you try to understand people, I think that builds human relationships. That builds society. That builds really strong communities. So that's the message. My name is Roberto Corona.